crawling lipstick.
Crawling lipstick.
Yeah, it crawls from the bottom lip to the top lip.
Why would we go like that?
And it goes across the
Your front teeth.
my front teeth in the process.
Oh, the things we talk about.
I know.
So what I thought, the deck I thought we would use, which I haven't used in a minute, Return of Spirit. And that's by Cheryl Lee Harnish.
Okay.
And these are fractal images.
Oh, okay.
Done. We've used it before. It's been a long time though.
Yeah.
And I think she does all the art, and she does all the little writings in the guidebook. So I'm really a fan of fractal art. So
I know you are.
I
Your own is beautiful.
well, thank you. So what action do we need to take to move to that next level? What is the action that we need to take to move to the next level of our spiritual awakening for our highest good?
Okay. And are you asking that on well, I guess it doesn't matter whether it's on a global level or what it's,
well,
or if it's just around us.
It's for us today, and then anybody that's listening to this.
Okay.
What is the action that we need to take to reach that next level of spiritual awakening for our highest good? It's a beautiful card. It's Caretaker.
Wow. Wow. The colors.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And her cards are not numbered. So I will go in alphabetical order. Caretaker. You are an endless giver. If anyone has a need or requires assistance in any way, you are right there to help. Essentially, you are an earth angel. Every life you touch is made better, whether you know it or not. Your heart is big, and the support and love you give is even bigger. You are one of the souls who are here to either nurture the world or the people in it. However, there comes a time when we have to consider our own needs over others. We have to make our own well-being a priority, even if that means it may not please others. You have to come first right now. Although it may feel as though it is going against your very nature to do so, it is vital that you put yourself first. Your physical and emotional well-being needs to be nurtured and maintained. This ensures that when you do give to someone else, what you give has substance. Your personal value cannot be defined solely in what or how much you give to others. Your value and worth as a person come from all the incredible qualities that make you, you. Maybe this is a time you finally say no or create a boundary. In some way, it is a time to give to yourself and restore balance in your life. You are a beautiful soul with much to give, and a beautiful soul who deserves to receive. If there is something you need, or if you could use a little assistance, Spirit is encouraging you to allow others the opportunity to give to you. You know from your own experience how good it feels to give. So now you need to give the ultimate gift and allow someone else to give to you. It's time to allow the caretaker to be taken care of.
Oh my goodness sakes. Well, couldn't have picked a better card.
Spirit's got a sense of humor, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, when you first started talking, I immediately thought of you and how much you do for your neighbors and the groups you're in and everything that you do. And then I also thought about the fact that I can relate also to not being in acceptance mode very easily, because that's where I come from also, and I know that you do too. But and then I go to where I just think this speaks to so many people in this world, just simply because that's what we do, is we nurture. And we have been taught through lifetime after lifetime that you don't nurture yourself, you nurture others. And it shorts us in what we're able to give to others. And pretty soon you give and you give and you give, and you get a little bit, even though you're still coming off as a giving, loving person, inside you're going, God, when's it my turn? You know, or Jesus, can't they do this by themselves? Or, you know, pretty soon, even though it looks to the outside world like you're just happy as a lark doing everything you're doing, the inside of you isn't feeling so good about that. Sometimes that can create illness. Held too long, it will create illness. Sometimes it creates guilt, which can create accidents. And then you have to allow somebody to take care of you to a degree. Yeah, that's quite a card. And I think about being true to ourselves totally. You know, who we are, what we really believe in. It's okay for us to put boundaries around, be very true to ourselves, do the things that are important to us, whether it's a journal or a meditation or exercise or anything that's very important to us. We can't put those things on the back burner for somebody else's wishes or emergencies or whatever. You know, the parameter thing can be done very kindly and very nicely. But then there needs to be a real kind. Sometimes that can be taken wrong and they'll think, oh, she won't stick with that, you know, or whatever. But there has to be a very kind firmness to the fact that the first time someone tries to walk over that line, you say, oh gosh, you know, I'd love to do that for you and I will do that for you, but I won't do it now. You know, this is me time. And actually, you're not being selfish. You're putting forth an example for others. So I rattled for a long time. How about you?
Well, that was, I was interested in what you had to say. That was good. Thank you. You know, we put a lot of lip service to this. I hear a lot. I see a lot on social media. I hear in the circles I'm in, you know, we have to take care of ourselves first and foremost. And we can't we're no good to anybody else unless we take care of ourselves first. We need to love ourselves before we can truly love others. And so, you know, we talk a lot about that. And I'm all about, okay, how do we really do this then? How do you really break that pattern? Because, you know, for 40 years, that's who I was. And, you know, stepping out of that persona, that part of yourself, and really doing some work around why you are that way and how you became that way, that's a whole other story. You know, that's pretty painful for me. That it has been a painful process to go, okay, why did I develop this way of being? And it started as a protection to protect my soul self, my true self. Um, and that's where that martyr complex came from for me. Um, where people your immediate response is, oh, look at all the good stuff you do for people. And I have to weigh that very carefully now, because doing it for the wrong reasons is a reflex for me. It is something I have to be very mindful of now. Do I really have time to do this, and energy? What am I taking from me to do this for you? And those things, they sound selfish, right? They sound really, really selfish. And that's why, that's that illusion, though. That's that old program that kept us in that martyr pattern, or that constantly giving and not being able to give to ourselves. The other thing that brings up for me is, when I'm the giver, when I'm constantly the giver, I'm in control. So for me, on a personal level, receiving is uncomfortable because I'm not in control. And that, I understand, is an illusion as well, because it's really not about control. It's about flow and balance. However, I didn't see that until I did that inner work. I felt anxious and not in control and vulnerable when somebody would give to me. And those were all the things I was trying to push away by being the giver. And
Right.
so, you know, again, so when I come across these cards and these types of things, and then I think of the question, what action do we need to take to reach that next level? And so the action I need to take is to become more of the receiver. That's what really resonated with me in this. For other people, it may resonate just to take care of themselves more and to establish those boundaries more. Um, for me, and where I'm at in my life right now, I need to free fall into receiving, because I've got that around me, and I've got a lot of love around me, and I still am holding on to something that's not allowing me to totally free fall into that receptive state. And one of the things that does help me, because I'm just so fucked up in the head some days, is that by allowing others to give to me, that's a gift. So you have to do this twist around it. So I still am tricking myself, thinking, oh, I'm giving to you by allowing you to give to me. And there is some truth in that, because
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I do get that there's certain people in my life, when they do allow me to give to them, I'm like, oh, wow, what a gift that was to be able to do that for you. And so I
Right.
do get that there's a truth to that, but it does
Absolutely.
help my ego at the same time. And this is where I have to be doing that inner work. And there's a lot of shadows in here for me, you know. So anyways, I could go on and on too, but this is a good conversation. I really like this. And, I'm looking at the fractal image that she chose to use, and it reminds me of the yin and the yang symbol almost. There's this balance, this
There's a
give and
balance in
take,
it. Yeah.
you know. Um,
And that's what we're looking for, is the balance. We're not looking to totally uh, turn things upside down,
right.
you know. And when you brought up the whole control thing, it was like, oh, why'd she go there? That hits me really deep, deep enough to where I didn't even want to talk about it. So yeah, getting angry, all of that are control issues, is what they are. Is
Right. Right.
when you're not in control, but you're right. When you're giving, you're in control. And that's been my wake up call over the years, in a very unpleasant way.
Sure.
But you're right. There's an action somewhere in there. And at some point we have to totally be conscious of allowing, of receiving.
Right. It's
Knowing that it doesn't mean we stop giving. It just means that we also
right.
let someone else have that same gift. And what's interesting about this is that I gave this lecture to my son and daughter-in-law not too long ago over Christmas, because their oldest son doesn't send gifts. And I said, for years and years, he'd say, what do you guys want? What can we do for you? And you'd say, no, 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 don't spend your money on us. You keep your money. You do what you want to with your money. I said, you robbed him of the big-hearted feeling of giving. So I can preach it, but I don't always see it in myself. And I suspect I am the one that started that whole process.
Oh.
Or brought it forth, you know.
Wow. Wow. See, and that's the inner work, I talk about doing around this. It's like, okay, I read this, now I'll go take a bath and pamper myself. For me, I'm on a totally different level. I mean, some people may need to start there and
Right.
But for me, it goes so much deeper, like you said. And then looking at the family patterns. Yeah. What do my kids inherit from me being this way, and my grandchildren? And wow, that's pretty powerful. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like, if you can't do it for yourself, here we go, then do it for others. Do it for the lineage. It's like another one of those little side trips to where you make it easier on yourself to be able to do it. And like I told you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
You get
as long as you're aware of
you get there.
Yeah. I think you can't go from here to there, like that. Maybe some people can, but I need to go in increments and
right.
and play with my ego and work with that a little bit and get to know that part of me that is so embedded in that personality and that persona. So yeah. Oh, interesting times. Are you feeling up to a meditation? I'm feeling like I'm springing it on you.
No, you're not. I'm ready for it. It just came into me the minute before you said that. So
okay, good.
So yeah, let's go for it.
Let's go for it.
Okay, everybody take a deep breath. And when you take that deep breath, see your feet grow roots and go deep, deep, deep into Mother Gaia, into the crystalline heart of Mother Gaia. Because we want to go way up into the cosmos. And the more we are grounded, the deeper we are grounded, the higher we can go. And so also put a little funnel off your tailbone that goes down into the Mother Earth, excuse me, to release anything any heavier energy, anything that might just decide to release as we go through this activation. And so take another deep breath. See your Christ light, which is the golden white light of the Christ that fills your body. See your body get even brighter with that as it flows out of the confines of your body down into the earth, and it totally saturates Mother Earth and all her inhabitants. That is a service that you do 24/7 that you don't even have to remember that you're doing all the time. But every once in a while, just step in and remember that. The more of the Christ light that you spread around, the more that comes into you. There is no limit. So take another deep breath and see your heart light come forth, whatever color it is. It also fills your body and rides the waves of your Christ light. So another deep breath, and we're going to go into an orb. Create your own little orb with all this beautiful color. And you're standing in the very center of this orb. I'm sorry, I don't know what's got in my throat today. And as you stand in the center of this orb, you look around you And there's all the people and the situations that you do for, that you support in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through money or gifts or errands or therapy, all the things you do, and see how brilliantly all these people are lit because of your service to them. And this is a grand thing, except there's not a balance here. There's not a balance. So now if you just glance behind you, you're going to see this amazing chair. It's kind of like a chair that a queen would sit in. It's all bejeweled and golden. And you go ahead and you sit in it, because you're where the imbalance is. There's an imbalance here. And there's also a real slight imbalance around your circle of those you help, because they are so appreciative, and yet they want to return some of what they feel to you. So as you place yourself in this amazing, amazing chair, and you take a deep breath, and you've got a lovely, lovely flowing gown of light and jewels on, or a lovely uniform of light and jewels. And your chair starts to turn slowly in a circle. And as it turns, all those that are surrounding you are shining their heart lights to you. And their heart lights, some of them have codes in them, some of them have money in them, some of them have services in them. You are just simply being honored. You are being honored, and in the process, they are all honoring themselves and feeling the heart feeling that you have felt all this time when you are serving others. And your chair turns the entire circumference of the circle. And as it comes to a stop, everyone that was standing around your circle is standing in their Christ selves. They're bigger. Their light is brighter. And you look down at yourself, and now you can stand up from the chair. The chair disappears, and you stand, and you are taller. You are brighter. There is now a beautiful balance. There is now a beautiful balance within your circle. So take a deep breath and know that service is why we're here. But it's very, very important to make sure that we serve ourselves. The service is in our timing. There are some boundaries drawn, just to make sure that we are all that we need to be to give and receive. That we give with pure joy, and that we also are able to receive in pure joy and worthiness. So take a deep breath as the light inside your little globe that you are in just totally goes through everyone. There are no boundaries. We're all one at this point. There's just this beautiful, beautiful light going through every one of us. And this light balances us, helps us to understand where we need, what we need to assist this balance on a regular basis. So take another deep breath, absorb this balancing light, absorb the information that's coming into you. Know that you will click on exactly where you need to start within the next day or two, maybe within the next minute or two. And then take another deep breath, securing that in your heart. And then coming back to where you began. Not the same, just a little different. And this is done. It's done by the power of 3, a perfect trinity. It is done, it is done, it is done.
And so it is.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Love you.
Love you too.